Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is David. I'm a life coach and I make these videos to help people, try to help people heal and grow from different kinds of trauma. Thank you for tuning in and welcome new viewers and new subscribers. If you think that I'm benefiting you or could benefit somebody else, would you be so kind to support what I'm doing by merely making this video more active? You can subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of my videos. And you can vote up or down, tell me why down below, ask questions. That's what I'm doing here. I do this every single Monday. And any questions that are asked on the most recent last video of the Q&As, I will answer the next Monday, okay? All I ask from people is please leave us your locations. I like to know, and a lot of you guys do too. Helps us feel a little bit more together. And anybody who would like coaching, please contact me at daviddemars.com. Thank you very much. So, before we get into the questions, there's a couple things I like to do every week. One of them, every once in a while, I like to recommend something called Shane's Law Petition. Shane was a victim of a horrible smear campaign. It went on for quite a long time, and it was intrusive in all parts of his life, and Shane didn't know where to go for help. He tried and couldn't get it to stop, and sadly, Shane took his own life. Somebody Shane knows started a petition to start a law to stop this kind of public attacks and smear campaigns. If you've never experienced it, it is awful, and there isn't much help out there for it. Social media being so new, so are the problems that are arising from it are new, and this is a step in a positive direction for everybody in the world. Even though this is in America, I could really use your support, and so Shane doesn't die in vain. If you're interested, go down below into the description box. There's a link, takes you right to the petition, and you just tap yes, and I would appreciate that, and so would everybody else that's enduring this and people in the future that are going to endure this. Thank you very much. I want to thank you, Willa and Christy, for your donations. Thank you very much, both of you. I really appreciate that. It's the kindest gesture, really, when you don't really know somebody and they give you their hard-earned money. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for everybody who's contributed to this channel. Thank you very much. And then something I'd like to do every week is recommend something, suggest something that might help you guys in your recovery and growth from trauma. A major problem that most of you face is anxiety. And we don't want this to be a daily part of our life, do we? And so let's try and get a hold on this, and let's try and make it better, okay? Something we do is use caffeine. And caffeine really, really can make anxiety so much worse. So much worse. And sometimes we're not aware that we're actually even doing that. We have anxiety problems. I talk to people all the time. They have anxiety problems and they drink their morning coffee or have their energy drink or drink sodas throughout the day. And it just, you're not going to make anxiety better. You're just making it worse. So I read an article on healthline.com, 9 alternatives to coffee. I added one of my own at the end. And it says, and why you should try them. If you're interested in the article, go down in the description box and follow that, okay? And you can read it. I'm going to list some alternatives, and I'm not going to get too much into each one and take up a bunch of time. Like I said, if you're interested, follow the article, okay? So, and just to let you know, the most common forms of caffeine, and caffeine is the most widely used psychoactive drug in the world, okay? And the popular forms are coffee, tea, soft drinks, energy drinks, and even some pain relievers might have caffeine because it helps the body absorb the analgesic portion of the medicine. But you may not have much control over that, but the drinks that we put in our bodies every day, we do have control over that. So I came up with here are 9 alternatives to coffee. I came up with one of my own at the end. First one is chicory coffee. 2 is matcha tea, a form of green tea. Golden milk, lemon water, yerba mate, chai tea, rooibos tea, a form of red tea, apple cider vinegar, which has a lot of other health benefits, kombucha, which also has a lot of other health benefits. The last one I came up with is something you can take with these. because that caffeine really wakes us up and gets us started. It opens up arteries and lets our blood flow better and start making our mind work better and stuff like this. So what can work really good as an alternative to caffeine is something called vitamin B complex easy melts, something I've recommended before. But you can add it to any of these in your day, in your morning, and it might be a really good supplement to what you're drinking throughout the day and the caffeine you're absorbing. Think of it as temporary, right? Let's get a hold on our anxiety and start making it better so that one day you can have caffeine and it doesn't hurt you that much, okay? It doesn't cause all that anxiety. When we're healed, when we feel better, okay? So, interested? Follow the link down below. Let's get into the questions. Lots of good questions. I pick out, some of the ones that I can answer here. Some I may answer directly to you guys, but here's the ones that I chose. Always good questions, and please keep asking. There's no such thing as a bad question, a stupid question, only bad and stupid answers, okay? So I try to do my best, and please keep asking, communicate with me. Let me know if what I said makes sense to you. Make sure that I understand your question and that you understand my answer, okay? And keep asking. Healing from emotional trauma means understanding it, so it doesn't hurt anymore, so we don't believe that we're bad people, okay? All right, let's get started. First question is from Carol in Daytona Beach. Hello, Carol. I always had a question about narcissist people, from ex-husband to ex-friends to coworkers that I have known. Why do they always jump from job to job, or from house to house, or jump from one new car, keep it for only 1 year, trade it in for a new one, and also jump from relationship to relationship too, right? I mean, you're talking about specifically narcissists. Typically, they discard you and right to another. Typically, they don't want to be alone, because who would want to be all by yourself when you're that bad of a person, right? And that's how they feel. They do not want to introspect, and they do not want to face the depression that follows loss, stuff like this, and they don't want to see their own self. Introspecting means like holding up a mirror to yourself, right? And they hate themselves, they've rejected themselves, and they refuse to look at it because it hurts too much, okay? So they go move right on to a new person. So what you're describing, Carol, is instability, unstable. And the best way for me to explain that is, if this was our body and our body's doing things, that's what emotions are. Emotions are our body doing things, and some doctors say we might have tens of thousands of different emotions, okay? And feelings are awareness of what they are. So if you think of it, we could have lots of different feelings at the same time, like layers of an onion. And if we don't process emotions, they stay open forever. I could go on and on and on about that. But say you're talking about disordered people. Narcissists specifically have a bad past, bad childhood that hurts. It's depression. Maybe they have anxiety. This is just maybe in one day. Sadness, happy. You can be happy and sad, and anger. Lots of anger a lot of times. And they may not express this and hold it in. They're not processing it. The more emotions you have, the more your body is doing things, and it creates impulsivity. We all have impulsive thoughts. But the more unstable we are, the more the impulsive thoughts we get, okay? And so impulsivity really shows, and being unstable really shows in your three major areas of life: where you live, your relationships, and your work. And these are what you described. You described two of them. And so someone who's unstable won't keep a job. And it's their emotional life failing, causing lots of emotions. They're not looking at it. They're not processing it. And when our emotional life fails bad enough, it seeps into other areas of our life and causes problems at work, doesn't it? We may want to move right away, and bam, go move. Narcissists will break up with you over one quick fight and go right to somebody else. Instability. Okay, I hope I explained that for you, Carol. Please keep asking me questions, okay? Thank you. Next one is from UK 2020. I chose my husband on the basis of what you had said. He taught me healthy, and I am blessed because my children inherited his goodness, personal, emotional, and moral fiber. They taught me healthy. After serious narc family abuse, I waited 9 years to make sure he was good before marrying. Here we are 30 years later. Thank you for sharing. That's beautiful. That's why I'm sharing this for everybody else. Waited 9 years for marriage. Most people who marry narcissists takes more than 9 years. They tend to want to rush into these things. The more unstable we are, right? They want, and they're dependent on people to help stabilize them. And they get excited, right? Lots of hormones. And they think that you are the one to fill this humongous void in their lives. And we will think this too, okay? But it takes forever to get to know somebody. It takes so long. Some of you may have been married for 10, 20 years to a narcissist, and you're just now finding out and learning who he really is, or who she really is, okay? Thanks for sharing that. Thank you. That's beautiful. Emily from Latvia. Hello, Emily. This holiday was the first one in which I count as peaceful, loving, and I could feel ease after 12 years of destructive holidays. I even could not believe that this is possible. Like you said, holidays will become easier and easier each year. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. You're welcome, Emily. Thank you so much for sharing this. I'm reading this to you guys to help you after we just came out of these holidays, and they may have been stressful, dramatic, traumatic, okay, for years. And our brain goes by our experience, and we build confidence from experience. And when we've had bad experiences, our brain says we're going to have more, and then we get so scared and worried about the holidays coming. But I hope most of you watching this had just a calm or decent holiday season this year. And if so, next year should be better, and it gets better and better and better. And you can start planning now. Start looking forward. Try to start looking forward to it. I can't wait to have a peaceful holiday this season. I may celebrate and decorate. Give gifts. Give gifts really helps us. Thank you for sharing that, Emily. Okay, let's get to a question. Oh, this is another comment. You guys are being really nice to me today. You are a wonderful person, David. This is from Little Soul. One clearly can see how far you have come from your older videos and how you care not to trigger anyone, and you care so much not to judge anyone. I like that. It's a great quality in a human being. Thank you so much. That's awfully nice of you. And it takes a great human to appreciate great human qualities. Thank you. All right, next one should be a question. Yes, Shelly from Oregon. Hi, Shelly. Good to see you again. I was wondering if you have any tips for how I could start meeting positive people during lockdown. Social apps kind of scare me for obvious reasons, so I'm kind of at a roadblock. I'm realizing more and more how I have a toxic relationship with my half-sister, who has been supportive of me during my move and has helped me come down from a couple panic attacks over the phone. She's probably borderline, but I really don't care so much about that. It's just her talking down to me and the overall hot and cold passive-aggressive behavior. I'm thankful I have a boyfriend who is kind and compassionate and supportive, but I'm really craving female companionship, and we need that. We need intimate times with our friends. Men need intimate moments and times with other men, okay? It's an emotional need for most of us, if not all of us. This is so difficult to do right now. I understand that. What I normally tell people is, because we come out of these abusive, traumatic relationships with a real lost sense of who we are. And then I want people to start exploring their own self-interest, and they're like, I don't know what they are, or I don't feel up to it, I don't care, I don't want to. And we tend to isolate after these events too. It doesn't help us. One of the worst things we could do. A suggestion I'll make, and this is, it's almost impossible during the lockdown, but it's not impossible. The best way to go about meeting friends is knowing who we are, have a stable sense of who we are, how we feel, what we want, what we need, what we value, our opinions. Knowing this will help guide us in life and really start pursuing your own self-interest, okay? Why don't all of you try to come up with 5 things in this world that you are very interested in, all right? And start exploring these interests. With the lockdown, maybe it's easier on the internet, but instead of going on the internet just trying to find people, start exploring things that interest you and we meet, hopefully we meet other people interested in the same thing, not just dating or sex. Okay? Does that make sense? You know what I'm talking about? Dating sites. And people will use Facebook and different apps for dating too. Okay? So by pursuing your own self-interest, it makes you more of an interesting person. It makes the world more interesting. It makes other people more interesting. And it makes other people more interested in you. It's a great way to meet people. It is. You already have something in common, except I am looking to fill my void. I need people, right? It's no, I want new friends. Okay? So be clear. Be clear on who you are too. Very important. Be clear on the things that you value. People that we allow into our lives, personal lives, I say this a lot, they've got to value the same morals. And that's key. And so we don't let people in right away. We take a long time to get to know people. But going about it this way is healthy, and it can benefit you a lot. Shelley, there might be things that you can do, online to do this. Say you want to learn a new language, or you want to explore, or some author, or whatever it is that you're interested in. Start doing that, okay? Start doing that. Other people will be interested in the same thing. You'll find and meet other people, hopefully, okay? That's my best suggestion. I know it's tough right now. Someday, this will be over, okay? And there still might be things that you can do socially. I'm not sure, in Oregon, I'm not sure what you can and can't do there. But there's, we may have to wear a mask, but there are some things you can still do and go out there and do, okay? Good luck, Shelley. Thank you for your question. Jen Raw from Australia. Hello. I was lucky to get out after a couple of months. The issue I had was I identified that in him before getting involved. Guess I eventually bought into the delusional fantasy, or I'm a bit sadistic. I hope he would embrace his darker side, but me saying own it was so offensive to him. I got out just when it's getting dangerous. I kept telling him I'd go cold as ice and that would be it. Well, he probably believes me now. The thing that haunts me the most is he will be doing this to other women. It's hard for a little, as they take all your time, then it's empty feeling, but stick to it. So it's difficult. I think a lot of us believe this, right? When we get out of this abusive relationship, and we start to really identify how bad it was and how it affected us so much, what it's done to us, we fear that our abuser is going to continue to do this to other people. Let me just tell you this, okay? You can't control people. There's not much you can do about it in the first place. What we need to do is focus on ourselves and heal ourselves, okay? Once we are healed, we are okay, and we will know that other people will be okay and will heal from this. That's something that might really help, and I know it's difficult. I use an analogy. Imagine watching children run around, right, on the cement on a sidewalk or a driveway. They're running around in the street, and they're all wearing shorts, right? And kids fall, don't they? They fall and they skin their knees. Oh, that hurts. Just thinking about it makes my knees hurt. But if you're a parent, you can sit there and try to, no, don't run, no, right? Wear knee pads all the time, wherever you go, elbow pads, and then a helmet, right? But the bottom line is, parents, we've all fallen, and we've all gotten up and healed and been okay. And that's why it makes us know that our children are going to fall, and they're going to be okay once we do that. So once you heal from this and realize that you're okay, you'll see that other people will too, okay? This is a life journey. There are reasons that this was necessary, okay? And it stems maybe from our childhood, all right? It's kind of like saying, do you want to be your old self again? Before this relationship, when you thought, you felt better, do you want to be that old person again who got us into trouble dating narcissists, right? No. New and improved self that's healed and is okay now, all right? And then you'll be able to accept that we can't stop other people's journey and other people what they're learning about themselves, okay? Because It really takes people that don't love us or can't love us to enter our lives and teach us to love ourselves finally. Okay? I hope that makes sense. If not, ask me again. Keep asking, okay? Thank you. Next question is from Ann in Utah. Hello, Ann. So I have a narcissistic mother, and I'm just learning this. So why does a narcissistic mother always have her children on different levels at different times? Like for a period, I'll be the good child, then I will do something to make her mad, and I'll get the silent treatment. And my brother will be on the good list, and so on. Siblings, I have 5 siblings, and there is only one brother that moved pretty far away that she doesn't really do this to. So we start, if you looked into narcissistic family dynamics, okay, unhealthy family dynamics, and we have different names from the golden child, the scapegoat, things like this, lost child, and it's the way our parents treated us. First, having lots of children, it's almost impossible there won't be some favoritism, okay, and neglect. But when we get into narcissistic parenting, try to understand that children have to be dependent on the parent. Totally dependent with unconditional love. And eventually they want to grow up and not be dependent and go away and fly away from the nest. But narcissistic parenting means that they are dependent on us. And that might be very hard to identify, okay? You might need a professional to help you see this. This is something that can be difficult for me to show people. Take some time. But narcissists are dependent on people, emotionally dependent, especially on their children. It could be even just you're their emotional kicking post. You're just there taking the blunt. You're just there listening. And we learn that our parents' feelings and wants and needs are more important than ours. And we don't express ourselves. We stop. And then we want to get that attention from our parents, and we start conforming and doing what they want. And we're really becoming someone else, not ourselves. Okay, because we can't express ourselves. So narcissists, if a parent is a narcissist, lots of shame, lots of things they do not accept about themselves, and their children are extensions of themselves, this dependency, okay, and you don't get to become your own, your son doesn't get to become a son, a fully functioning, developed son with their own authentic self, and then you have a daughter, right? And typically the first child might be everything I want to be, everything I want everyone to see. My daughter, I push so hard to succeed, is my golden child, and this is who I am, and I take credit for this, and I care about what everybody thinks, and whatever they think of my daughter, they'll think of me.